What's up guys, so over the past few weeks I've kind of been taking a step back to work very hard on a product where we're essentially giving everything away around health, around performance optimization and around mindset, all of these different categories to make sure that you're able to perform at your best. And now we're giving it all away for the price of a big cup of coffee. So that is now live. If you want to check that out, then be sure to do so. It's incredible what we have built, and the price is a no-brainer for it. But now that I'm getting back into things, I want to create some type of documentation where I'm showcasing what I'm doing around the performance side of things, what I'm doing around the business side of things, and just show you as I go, as I'm learning, what I'm doing on the performance side, just to make sure that you can get the most benefit out of that as well. So first of all, I want to show you what I'm doing on the training side of things, and specifically, as you could see in the title, I'm currently working to a 300 kg deadlift. And so I want to still be maximizing the amount of work that I'm capable of doing, and I don't want to fatigue myself too much. Obviously with 3 times a week deadlifts, this is going to be a bit messed up, but this is what I do, and finding the balance in that works as well if you know what you're doing. And so you can see that I do not have that many exercises every single day. These are pretty quick workouts. I've done this purposely just to make the most out of the things that I'm doing in the gym right now, just to do very compound heavy lifts, keep the frequency high, master the bench, master the deadlift, kind of be in a more powerlifting type focus training block right now. This is something that I used to very much love. I haven't been doing it as much recently, and I want to get back into it. And so currently training 3 times a week lower body, 3 times a week upper body, followed by a day of rest. You can check it out if you want, but this is how I'm currently structuring it. So next, let's talk about what I'm currently doing to grow the business. We're making a lot of changes in-house where we are, first of all, scaling up our acquisitions. So we hired an outbound setter. We are starting to run advertising. We are recording a VSL later this week properly in the studio, also starting to record some ads. And that's what we're doing on that end. Then also on the product side, we are going back to spending way more time studying our field, doing a lot of research, doing a lot of product development, creating a lot of content, spreading a lot more value, because at the end of the day, right, like the amount of value you provide is all that really matters in this game, in my opinion. Then another interesting thing that I wanted to share, which I don't think a lot of people understand, especially in terms of coaching, is for me, a big mistake that I used to make is I would constantly be trying to grind and work as many hours as possible, where that is not my job whatsoever. My job is to be as present as possible, to be as transformative of a coach that I can be for my clients. And so for me, the biggest priority is how do I show up as present as possible, as capable as possible, in a as good state as possible, so I can serve my people as best as possible. And so that is just something to think about, where that is one of the highest leverage things that I can do, even from a purely like business perspective, let alone the relationships that I have with clients. And very often it can be very easy to have the priorities misconstrued. That's all I'm gonna say. I wanna show you my day-to-day structure, which I'm using to maximize the amount of deep work that I'm getting every single day, just produce as much as possible. So waking up at 4:30 at the moment, I pushed that back a bit more and feeling very good about that. Then I'll make a morning written post, I'll make a morning book post, and I'll start reading my architecture workbook, which is kind of a document of, okay, this is the long-term vision that I'm working towards. These are the principles that I want to adhere by. Just all of this kind of getting in the good mindset makes it very easy to stay aligned with that mission throughout the day. Then I'll start working on my projects as soon as possible. So that starts off with the highest quality work. Obviously, you want to start off with the highest quality work at the beginning of the day. Generally, that is some type of product development, some type of large, high-level like business strategy things, or writing content, which that would be most of the time the thing that I will be doing. Then after nearly 2 hours of that, I'll start doing my red light therapy, breath work, and take a cold shower, which is followed by another deep work session of nearly 2 hours. So then I do meditation and I'll eat some food before the gym, which is a little bit of a longer break. And after that, I'll either do more deep work or I'll start having client sessions. Followed by checking my inbox, going to the gym, taking a shower, eating more food, taking a walk, and then either meditating or napping. I have been taking naps because I've been only sleeping 7.5 hours each night. I am a very big boy, I train very heavy, so I generally need a bit more sleep than that. And so sleeping 7.5 hours plus usually taking a nap, that kind of counterbalances it, where I don't have to sleep another sleeping cycle of 90 minutes because we sleep in 90 minutes cycles. And so, yeah, I slept 9 hours a lot in the past, just want to be working a bit more. So after that, I'll start doing more deep work or have client sessions. Sometimes we'll have calls with the team, depends on what I'm doing. Then another break, and then usually more deep work. After that, I'll start eating my dinner around 5 and making sure that by 6 p.m. I've finished my food for the day. So we have 3 hours before bedtime, so there is no digestion interfering with the sleep, or at least as little as possible. You could even push that back further. Lastly, I'll do my end of day reflection. So I'll look, okay, how many hours have I spent today working on what? How did my time distribution go? How much screen time did I have? And just being conscientious of this, kind of journaling, okay, this is what went well, this is what could have gone better. Tracking business KPIs, okay, this is how much money we made, this is the content that we published, things of this nature. Then I'll do around 2 hours of studying. Read my favorite book, read the Bible, pray, meditate, and then go to bed at 9 and do the exact same thing all over again the very next day. Two more things that I wanted to mention here. First of all, with the food that we're eating during our working day and before our workouts, we generally want to keep it high in fat and high in protein while keeping it low in carbs. When we start eating foods that are high in carbs, we start to spike our blood sugar levels, which just creates massive brain fog, creates this energy crash that a lot of people experience. And so a lot of the time, it's better to have the carbohydrates later on in the day before bed, not right before bed, but like 3 hours before bed, 4 hours before bed, 5 hours before bed, around that range, because then we experience this energy crash before sleep, making us fall asleep easier. And also it helps with serotonin production, which is also beneficial for sleep. Now, personally, after training, especially because I train very hard, I have pretty intense workouts, these deplete my glycogen stores in both my muscles and my liver, and so I can get away with having some type of carbs because they pretty much go right to the muscles and the liver rather than just spiking your blood glucose levels. And so personally, how I do this, the type of quality of carbohydrates that you are consuming still matters. So personally, I have dates. And then on top of them being a low glycemic index food, which already slows down the absorption, they are also added with raw butter, with raw honey. I put high quality cinnamon in there, and this all slows down the absorption to where it barely spikes it. Then I also have some raw milk. This is pretty interesting as well because it's mixed with the fats. It doesn't spike the blood sugar levels as much, but it is obviously a food that is quite high in carbohydrates. Another thing I wanted to mention is the sleeping time. So I always go to bed at 9 p.m. or I try to, but if I'm out later, I will still always wake up at 4:30 no matter what. I keep my sleeping times consistent unless I want to consistently switch them all across the board. So that makes me prioritize my sleep way more, where in the past I would just push my sleep back further and further and my wake up time further and further. Now I prepare for my sleep and I make sure that I go to bed on time because I know I can't sleep in. It's no longer a possibility. And so you start to prioritize it more, fixes a lot of these issues that people have in the evening around not getting enough sleep and just wasting their time. Lastly, in terms of supplements, I firstly mostly quit drinking caffeine, and the benefits of that have been pretty profound. My heart rate variability is up, which is a clear indicator that I'm more rested, which I can also just feel. My sleep quality feels better. I fall asleep more easily. I feel less jittery, I feel less anxious. So a lot of different benefits. Just gut health feels a lot better. So I'll continue to do that. I did have 1 cup today. But yeah, that was fine. Then in terms of my other supplements, so I'm not going to give you my entire list of supplements. I'm just going to give you the ones that I think are pretty recommendable across the board. First up, organ capsules. So these are a nice replacement for multivitamins. Multivitamins are synthetic vitamins. Organ capsules have real vitamins. They don't look alike whatsoever on a microscopic level. So just recommend the natural alternative. Next one, krill oil. So this is a thing that's pretty much superior to fish oil. I don't eat enough fish personally, so I supplement with that. Then creatine, which is just great for muscle recovery, energy levels. IQ, it has even been shown to improve, so just a good baseline supplement to be taking. There are some concerns around creatine helping with balding or aiding balding. There's only been one study, as far as I'm aware, that has confirmed that, so I don't think it's much of a concern as of now. Magnesium, so I used to be deficient in magnesium. A lot of people are, as the soil is becoming more depleted. So that could be a good one to be adding. It's best to obviously test this with your markers. And then electrolytes is another one, which helps with dehydration symptoms. A lot of people, they have dehydration symptoms, which are actually from electrolytes, being low in electrolytes, not needing to drink more water, which a lot of people will do at that point. And then vitamin D3 and K2 in their combination. D3 because I'm in a cold ass country right now, which is going to change very soon. And then I combine that with K2 because you want the synergistic effect of the both of those, because the D3 is kind of being directed to the right muscles, or not the muscles, the right cells, by the K2. So those would be my general recommendations. I hope this video was insightful. If you have any questions around any of the topics we discussed, just shoot me a message. And outside of that, I hope you're doing well. Wish you a good day.